Another big show on Broadway this fall, it's the new play from Gabriel Byrne. It's Walking with Ghosts, Byrne's one-man show adapted from his memoir of the same name. I had a chance to chat with the stage and screen legend. What was it like debuting, first of all, in your hometown, but ending up right here on Broadway just really a few months later?
For any kind of performer, playing in front of the home crowd is always difficult. Musicians always say that when they do gigs in their hometown, it's always difficult. But the welcoming, because I hadn't been on stage in Dublin for quite a long time, the reception was so warm, it was really touching. Once we got over that hurdle, then we had to go to the West End, and we thought they'd be more reserved, but they weren't. They were equally as warm. And then to Broadway, which, I mean, I'm shocked at the short period of time it took to get from Dublin to Broadway. And of course, Broadway audiences are so warm and so welcoming.
If you had to paint a perfect picture of what the run was going to look like to hit all of those cities, including your hometown, but West End and Broadway, it really is the perfect picture, right?
It is, it is. We got to work in various cities and gauge the reaction, so that by the time we came here, and even still we weren't prepared. There were things we had to cut because New York audiences just didn't relate to them. So we cut some stuff.
But the humor, I feel like, is universal.
Yes, humor is universal. And I think that language, the English language as spoken by Irish people, is unique in itself. But the themes of the play are universal. Childhood, parents, love, death, memory, time. They're the universal themes.
Is there one area in the show that you feel is particularly vulnerable to you or very raw?
There are several points in the show where I do feel that you're moving into very vulnerable territory. You have to push through that, because what you're trying to do is reach the audience in an honest and truthful way, and that in some way it doesn't really concern you. It's more about the audience. Each performance and each part of each performance, I always feel vulnerable from the very beginning about every scene. Those scenes that I've mentioned are sometimes particularly difficult when you delve into deep emotional stuff.
When you put this memoir together initially, how do you reach down and pull back up? And a lot of people can't do that. People spend a lifetime not being able to do that, right?
One thing that I learned is that nobody has an ordinary story. Every single person has an extraordinary story, and we all go on extraordinary journeys. And I didn't think I would remember as much as I did. It's amazing the things that you think you've forgotten that are actually in there, and one leads to another by some kind of magical process. But you always come to that part where you say, do I really want to say this? That's the moment when you have to say, yes, I have to say it, because I've had that doubt about it. So, I mean, being truthful is a challenge, but it's worth it in the end, because I think the big enemies are silence and shame.
Do you feel like you have a lot of people that come that are in treatment fans that have been like, is this going to become, is this who I'm coming to see, or are they come and they see somebody completely different? New York especially, I feel like.
Yeah, New York is full of therapists. Yeah, some people do come because of that, and other people come because of movies, and other people have read the book. So it's a good cross-section of people.
I know that this is your full concentration right now. Do you have other projects that are in the works that we're going to be seeing come out?
Well, I just finished a film about Beckett, where I played Beckett, and that was a fantastic experience to go into the life of Beckett. Most people revere as this detached, esoteric poet of despair, but actually he was a living, breathing human being. He couldn't have written the great works that he did if he wasn't fully suffering, joyful man that he was.
What do you do if you have any free time?
I love to read, I love to walk around. I mean, very basic things.
Yeah.
I like to sit in cafes and just watch people, because the greatest entertainment of all is watching other people.
Real stories, right?
I love sitting in a cafe and watching people and trying to fill in what their lives are and never know the answer really, because you can't go up and say, did you just have, and then you fill in your own story.
I've completed your story for you. Is this accurate?
This is accurate.